Hi guys, Ramesh, Dhanraj and Teja. So do you have any doubts on yesterday's class? So conditional statements. So if not, we can continue to the looping statements. Yesterday we discussed conditional statements, right? So then now today we can discuss about the looping statements. Okay, loops are used to execute a block of code a specified number of times. So why we are using the looping statement? So if you want to run a code for specific number of times, so we can use the looping statement. Okay, loops are used to execute a block of code, certain block of code. If you want to run a multiple times, so then we can use the looping statement. In JavaScript there are many loops which can be used like JavaScript, for loop, while loop, do while. Okay, for in also there, so that is comes in arrays, that is comes in arrays concept. Okay, so now present, so we have for, while and do while. Okay, so both are, so finally both are generates the same output only. Okay, so loop, for loop through a block of code a specified number of times. So then while loop loops through a block of code as long as the specified condition is true, as long as specified condition is true. Do while loops through a block of code once and then repeats the loop as long as specified condition is true. Okay, so the difference is very small in these three loops. So first one, so for loop, so initialization and condition check and the number of times. Three things checks at a time. But while loop, first it checks the condition, then after that block of code can execute. Okay, so for loop can check three conditions at a time. So first value initialization, then after that condition check, then increment value. Okay, so then this one while loop, so first it checks the condition, so then after that, so it executes the block of code, then again it checks the condition. Okay, so then do while, so do while first it executes the code once, first it
Yes.
executes the code once, but so after execution of code, whenever it generates the result, so at the time it checks the condition. Okay, so that means first it checks the, it executes the one time of code, one time of execution, so then after that it checks the condition. Okay, so that is the small difference, but finally it gives the same results. Okay, so most of the 90% of the 90% of the time, so we can consider for loop only, for and while. Okay, so then now we can see the for loop how the syntax works. So we can write the for. First we have to initialize the variable. So then after that condition. So then increment or decrement operator. Okay. So initialization, condition and decrement operator. Then inside of block of code, then we have to write the executable statements. Okay, so first initialization, it is used to give initial value of the counter variable. So we have to increment or decrement value, right? So first where we can start that value, that is the initialized value. So then after that condition, where we have to stop that increment and decrement. Okay, if condition is satisfied, then block of code will execute. So then if not satisfied, then it will terminate from the loop. Okay, so same thing for while also, same thing. So do while also, same thing. Okay, first we can check the for loop. 17.html.
9.
19.html. Okay, so then doc type, then HTML, then head, then title, till
JavaScript.
JS for loop example. Okay, so then body, then inside body we have to write the script ht2 example. Okay, so here, so first we can print the 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, we can print the 1 to 10 numbers,
10.
right? Then for loop, for loop.
A equals 10.
So as syntax, we have to initialize the value either x equal to 0. Okay, so then, so what we have to write, either x, right,
Because
less than or equal to. If you want to print 0 to 9, so then we have to write x less than 10. So r, so if you want to print 0 to 10, then we have to write x less than or equal to 10. Okay, so then colon, so either
if
increment or decrement operator,
because
x plus plus. Okay, so then document dot
on the right,
document
the
dot write. So then x. Okay, now you can HTML. Yes, right.
ninety.
Dot HTML. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then if we can give the dr for this one. Okay, so this way it will come, right? So I don't want to 0 here, so I want to start from 1 now. Okay, so 1. Okay, for suppose, if you want to print a table, okay, our tables is there, right? So if you want to print a table, for suppose I want to print a 10 table, so how can I print that? Okay, how can I print? So before, which table we want to print? Okay, where a table equal to 10. Okay, I want to print that table. Okay, so
Okay,
then
okay.
after that, how can I? So just we have to frame that one. So what is our design? So where is notepad? So first what it is, 10 into 1
1
equal
equals
to
to
10, right? So what is
10.
this one? This is the table value. Okay,
Okay,
so table, so cross symbol, there is cross symbol, this is a string, right? So we
yes,
have to concatenate the string. Okay, we are concatenating the string x, so then we have to give this some space before and after. So then after that, so what we have to give, increment value, that is x, right? X only, right? This is the x value. Okay, then fine, so we can give this value to either mm, I am giving the I for this. Okay, this is the increment value. Okay, so now 10 into 1, so equal to, again string is coming, so equal to, so then, so what we have to give now here, so able into table cross I, right? So this is the way we can print the tables. Clear? Yes.
vector.
Yeah. Okay, sorry,
The double quote.
inside of double quotes. So then whenever you are doing the expressions, you can give in brackets. Okay, now you can see. So anywhere we did mistake. So table, this is the 10 into, so 1, so then equal to 10 into 1. So now you can see. I is not defined, sorry. I greater than or equal to, then I plus plus.
Replace.
Okay, so this is the way we can print it. All right. So then this is a static value. This is a static value. Now, so I want to create it. So this way we can create a application. This is the way we can create the application. Now you can see I have a form. I have a form. Okay. So then inside I have a input type. Input type equal to number. So then value equal to empty, whatever value we can empty. So that one. So then after that, so on click or unsubmit unsubmit equal to, so then so we have to call a function. Okay, so my gbl function I am creating. Okay, so then okay, so the next one, so we will see. So here I am creating function. Okay, function. So then my tbl table. So then alert over. Okay, on change I am writing. So one is coming. So function is calling now. All right. So the next one. So then, so I want to get that value. I want to get that value. So document dot get element by
By
id id. So then, so tbl value. Okay. So this is my id. So I have to give it here. id equal to, there is no sequence, so you can give it initial or you can give it last. So there is no sequence for attributes, html attributes. Okay, so dot val. So we will see if the value is coming or not. Highlight document dot get element by val. Get element by, okay, now one is coming,
yes,
right? B is coming. So we can assign this value to the variable. Okay, so where so table equal to,
that intent.
okay, now we are cutting this one and place it into this function.
Okay.
Okay, now what will happen? So what value we are enter into that input, so the table needs to print it, right? So then now you can see 3. Okay, clear? So then that one is gone. So that's why document dot get element by id. Okay, no worries. You can do it. Okay? So then whatever table you want to, so then 100 table. So then after that, sorry, so 300, 3000. Okay. So this is the way we can print the dynamic tables. Okay, clear. So this is the for loop. So what is there inside of for loop? So just executable statement inside of block. So then first we have to initialize the value, counter value, initialize the counter value. So then after that we have to check that counter value. So how many times you want to print that and how many times you want to print that one. So then after that increment and decrement value. Okay, clear. So this is the way we can write the for loop. So the next one is the while loop. Next one is the while loop. In JavaScript while loop, the condition is tested. The condition is tested. First, it tests the condition. So then after that, it will execute the block of code. Okay. So then the control enters the loop and the block of code will execute it. After that, again the condition will be tested. If it again evaluates the true, then again the code will be executed. So this block will continue to execute as long as the condition is true. If the condition is false, so then the loop execution will stop. Okay. So do while. So first it executes the condition, then after that again it checks the condition. Okay. So that is the okay. Now we can see the while loop. Same thing. Same thing you can see. We are commenting this one. Okay. Commenting this one. So now writing a while. So what we have to check? First we have to check the condition.
Condition.
I greater than or equal to less than or equal to 10. Okay. So then we have to first we have to initialize this I value, right? So where I equal to either 0 or 1. Okay. So then now we have to write this print statement. So then we have to write that print statement, then we can increment or decrement the value I plus plus. Clear? All right. So then now you can see. Okay. Here for loop only calling. Sorry, not for loop. This one.
While
While loop only calling. All right. So then 8. Okay. So then we can change this one also. Right. So where I equal to greater than or less than or equal to 10. So then you can stop this one here. So then here you can I plus plus we want to write it here, you can write it here. I am commenting this one. Sorry, you cannot define the var value here.
Mhm.
So how to define it either before itself. Okay, right? So same thing do while, same thing do while. What will happen for do while? So we can check this one. So do, okay. So now while we are checking this condition passed, okay. So syntactically it is a difference. We are able to see the difference, but see this output will print after this condition checks. The first it executes the condition, but it won't print. After this condition only it will check. Okay, after this condition only it will check. Clear? So this is the way we can write the three conditions. So both are giving the same outputs only. Both are giving the same outputs only. Now I am enabling three loops. So this is first one is the document dot write for loop table. Okay. So this is the for loop table. So then here also there. Okay. So the next one here, this is the one while loop table. So this is the I, right? So we have to differentiate these values. Okay, first one is I. So then second one, so you can keep it J. Okay, J. So then J, J plus plus. Okay, so for this one, do while K, and this value is K. Just give me a second. Sorry. Yes. So then
Right number
K
30.
plus plus. K plus plus. So then K greater than 10. So now this is the so do while hello. Okay. Now we can say
While
do while only, right? Now you can see so while table, see for loop and
loop,
while loop and do
while
while
loop,
loop.
while loop.
Okay. So both are giving the same only. Okay. Same output only. Clear? So this is the way we can use the looping statement. So basically, if we want to run a block of code multiple times, so then we can use the looping statement. We are having the three type of loops. So for loop, while loop, do while loop. So most probably 99% we can use the for and while. Okay. For arrays, we can use the for in. So whenever we are discussing about the arrays and objects, so we can see that one. Okay, so this is the for looping statement. Clear? So up to here, do you have any doubts? So if not, so we can move to the functions concept. Functions concept, right? So we are already right so many times functions here, right? So whenever you are calling on, click on, change. So any functions if you want calling from HTML elements, we have to use functions concept only. Okay. Now why functions are using? So we can see. Functions are used to perform a specific type of operation. So every function includes some code which is executed. Okay, where whenever the function gets called, a function can be called many times and can be called from anywhere in the page. Okay, so what is the main motto of that function? So we are writing the certain code inside of the function. So the function main motto is, so if you want to reuse that function, if you want to reuse that function, so we can use that, we can reuse how many times we want in a page or in a application. Okay, so now here this function we are writing inside of internal script. Same thing. So if you can write this function, so if you can write this function, okay, so outside of the JavaScript, that means external script. Okay, so then you can call entire application. Okay, so you can call entire application. So that is the main motto. So function main motto is, so we can reusable so wherever we want and how many times we want. Okay, so main motto is that one. So inside a function we can pass the arguments. Okay, so then here, so function and function name. So this is the function syntax. First we have to write the keyword called function. So then function name. So that is our wish. So we can write any function. So same thing how we can define a variable 1a, 1b. So we cannot write like that. So we can start with the either capital letter or small letter. Okay, we can start with the alphabet. So if you want to separate the function name, if the function name is having multiple words, so we can separate with underscore or hyphen. Okay, so that is the way we can write the function name. So then, so block of code will execute. So if we can write like this, so it's a static function. So then if we can pass the arguments, if we can pass the arguments, okay, so then that's a dynamic. So for suppose here you can see, so same thing I am copying. So what is it? 20.html function. Function, right? So I'm not writing any of this one. So then this is my function. Function, for suppose I am printing, I don't want all these things, I am removing these things. So then this is my function. Okay, so what is this one? So I'm printing a table, page 2. So then floor page 2. Okay, so what will happen here? So whatever table name, so now there is no form here. Okay, now so
Yeah.
here I have a 10. So this is a static. This is a static. Okay, so I can print only 10 table. So wherever you can write, wherever you can call this function. So this is a static function. My table is a static function. Okay, so I don't want like this. So I am not print always 10 table. So in one page I can print 2 table. In one page I can print 100 table. In one page I can print 1000 table. So if I want to call like that, so I have to pass the argument. I have to pass as a argument. Okay. So for suppose now here, here in this, I'm calling function. What is that? My table. My table. So, so I'm calling 100 now. Okay. 20.html. Now see only 10 table is printed. So we can pick this argument. So how can I pick? So this is a, you can table. Okay. Table or num.
Okay.
Okay. So this num you have to pass, you have to assign to this one. You have to assign to table. Okay. Now you can see 10 printed. Now I'm calling again. So in the same thing, I'm calling 500. I can I can call how many times we want. Okay, see now. Okay, so then we can pass this one here. So for loop, so then we are closing it here and plus, so then value num, so then plus, then here. Okay, so this is the way we can call. Now you can see. Okay, 100 table, 500 table. All right. So then if you want to, if you, which table you want, so you can just enter inside of that number. Okay,
Oh,
so that is the use of functions. Okay, not only this page, you can call any page in the application if you can write this function external JavaScript. If you can write this one in external JavaScript, so you can call all the pages. Okay, clear? So this is the function concept. This is the way we can pass the arguments. Clear? So the next one is, so any doubts in the functions concept? So if you can look, this functions concept is very small. So but this is very useful. Okay, this is very useful. So then you can pass. So now here, so here what you write here, so in the function, so I want to pass another argument. I want to pass another argument limit. So now I am printing the table like 100, 10 only, right? So now I want to print 20. Okay, I want to print 100 table is up to 10. I want to print 500 table is up to 20, and 2000 table up to 30.
members.
So I want to print. Okay, so then where can I, how then we can pass this one as a another argument. So there is no limit for this argument passing. We can pass any number of arguments. Okay, so based on our requirement we can pass. So now the limit is we are passing as a argument. Why? Because it is every time it is changing. So then, so this limit is, so where I have to pass this one, where I have to pass this one.
And
This is the limit, right? All
yes,
right. Is this limit or not?
yes, sir.
Now you can see. Now you can see. Now this is 10 times,
10.
this is 20 times,
Oh,
and this is 30 times. Okay,
okay.
so this way we can, based on requirement, we can improve the function code. Okay, so basically we can call the arguments like this, we can pass the arguments like this. So whenever you want to use this argument, so you can use it inside of this block code. Okay, clear? So this is the functions concept. Defining and calling a function. Defining and calling a function. So how we are defining a function here? So just first we are defining a function and my function. This is a definition of function. So then after that, so we are defined, but we didn't call. So if you want to call this one function, so then we have to call like this, function name and function braces. Okay. So this is the way we can call the function. Without calling this, so we cannot call this function. So for suppose, so we are defining the function, but if you won't call this one, so we cannot print that one. We cannot print. We have to call that one. So how we can call? With the function name, and then if you have any argument, we have to pass it. Okay. So that is the way. So defining and function call. So the declaration of the function starts with the function keyword followed by the name of the function you want to create. Okay, followed by the parenthesis. So if we can define any function, so compulsory we have to use the function parenthesis. So these parentheses are called the function parenthesis. So these function, So these parentheses are called the function parentheses. So these braces are called the block of code. So we can define this braces is called block codes, block braces, okay, or curly braces, okay. So then next one, okay. So here it is, functions code between curly brackets. So then this way we can define the function and this way. So then after that parameters. Okay. So the next one, so function with return value. Function with a return value. So a function can have an optional or return statement. So this is required if you want to return a value from a function. So this statement should be the last statement in a function. So the value may be any type, including array or object. Okay. So if you want to return any value, if you want to return any value, so then so we can return in the last line of the function. For suppose, so if you can see it here, so this is the, so we can try in this, we can try in this. So here is the function, right? So then so for this one it is not possible, so we can write another function. Function, okay. So my function, right? So then curly braces we are defining. So then where num equal to, where num equal to, so for this one also I am passing the dynamic arguments n1 comma n2, okay. I can create another file, 21.html. So n1, so then so where num equal to num2 equal to n2, okay. So here is the number, okay. Now I am doing arithmetic operations. So where are you? Where result equal to, result equal to num1 plus num2, okay. So this one I don't want to print it here, so I can return result. So then how can I print this one? So if I can call this function, so this is the way we can call the function, right? So this is the way, okay. So now if we can print this one, if we can execute, so nothing will happen because of we are not passed any arguments, okay. We are not passed any arguments. Right now we can pass the arguments. So 10 comma 20. So now nothing will come, nothing will come. So because of there we didn't write any print statement, so just we return the result. So then so we can write this way, document dot write